Dana White dropped one of the biggest secrets into why the UFC is just such a success.
People always ask me what I do. I sell holy shit moments for a living.
This is the secret. One of my biggest first principles, people aren't buying the product, they're buying a feeling and emotion. If I can generate it inside myself and then link it to the product, bang, I could make the sale. And from studying Bernard Arnault, the richest person on the planet, he understands this the most. In luxury, people make a purchasing decision on emotion, and then they justify with logic because it's pure emotion. There's no logic in buying a $5,000 bottle of champagne or an $8,000 handbag. It's emotion, it's the story, it's the identity that comes from it. And then we justify it with our logic of it's so much better, it's rarer, or it's so much better made, it will last longer. One of my biggest tips is the earlier you can define your purpose and your why and break it down to the first principles of why someone's making that purchasing decision can create so much clarity, not only in your decision making, but in you being able to ignite staff on the journey and to be able to ignite their potential that's inside them by clearly defining the purpose and the why. So I did this very early in the Culture Kings journey, and I modeled it from basically Disney, which was our purpose at Culture Kings is to create magic moments for customers, our teammates, and ourselves. I would say at the end of a life, we're not going to remember all this stuff we brought, but we will remember those moments. And I would tell stories of when that first hat that I brought, relating them back to these 50 Cent songs and stuff growing up, and how it changed my state, my identity, to be more authentically myself, to live with less fear from these clothes, the identity that came from them. And how our job at Culture Kings was to create these magical peak experiences. That's why we do sharpshooter in the basketball comp. And see, if they didn't understand that, they could go, why are we doing the stupid basketball or shoot? And see, straight away, it would lose all of its effect. But having that clear purpose top of mind of our goal is to create a moment, create the whole store clapping, create this excitement that they'll never forget, shooting this in front of these people, winning the prize, capturing the content, sharing it online. They'll have that memory forever. Or whether it's this would drive into our decision making, or say we're going to do an in-store with a famous rapper or artist, is because I know creating that magic moment of meeting that idol, meeting that someone you've always seen on TV, that peak wow moment. And as much as we can do to create those, this would always relate to our decision making, especially when sometimes you can't make it, I'm not going to make money off this, or I'm going to go backwards, or it's going to cost it. But I was like, we could define it back to our brand and our purpose. We know if we create these magic moments for these customers, that they will be more connected to us, that they're going to get the photo with their favorite rapper and put it as their profile pic. And that Culture Kings logo in the background will be all this association over the next few years will be worth it for us. We just can't measure it on this week or this month, but in the long term, we know that is our North Star. But as well, this purpose that we would define as our teammates, how we would celebrate moments, and especially when people went above and beyond and created big leaps forward for the company or for our customers, we would celebrate those moments. And I would always drive this back to one of my most magic moments are moments of courage, when I was scared shitless, but I did it anyway. When you're in that meeting and your voice cracks, but you keep talking and you say your opinion, those magic moments, and that's would be our purpose. That's what we will remember. And that was our job at Culture Kings, and understanding our why and our purpose. And see, this is what Dana White can describe and just get the whole team aligned on exactly that is their purpose, and seeing it through in the UFC 300 and those holy shit moments that he created. This is what builds a true brand. So when you advertise for your next event, bang, they remember it and they click through and they sign up, and builds and compounds this growth over time. If you don't have a clearly defined purpose in your business, I would spend some time working on this, unpacking it down to the first principles of why does a customer buy your product? What is that feeling, that emotion, that identity that they're getting from it? And then how do you bottle that into words that you can create this clarity for your team, for your partners, for your suppliers, and most of all for yourself in your own decision making, so you have a North Star of what your purpose of your business for. Because if you get this dialed, trust me, this is the lead measure to profitability. Building from bootstrapping from a market stall up to 50 million EBITDA, $600 million valuation of profit. But we didn't focus there. We focused on that purpose and closely watched the lag measure being the profit.